All right, everyone, welcome back to Speed Souls Charity Marathon 2022. We are still here raising money for Save the Children. Thank you so much for tuning in. Right now, we have Too Easy with Halo Reach Legendary.
How's it going? Thanks for having me here. I'm here with a very special guest, Ben, commentating my run for me. Thanks for being here, man.
Yo. Hey, no worries. Happy to be here.
All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and restart the mission, and we will go from there. So I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start the timer. So, this is Halo Reach Legendary, the hardest difficulty of the game. This is one of the hardest Halo games on Legendary. But it means we get to play a lot of it kind of safe, do a lot of skips, and then do some combat focused on killing enemies and staying alive. And some of the time we'll be running past and praying we don't get shot. But yeah. This first mission is the most broken level of the whole speedrun. And we're not going to fight a lot of enemies there. But I'll let Ben explain the nitty-gritty of what we're doing here while I focus.
Yeah, so this, as Too Easy said, like this level is like a perfect example of what's gonna happen for the rest of the run. Like, there is an immediate out of bounds, and then there is probably something that many of you will have never seen before unless you've seen Halo Reach runs before. So the first thing Too Easy is gonna do is, instead of heading straight down and running all the way around this massive rock, you can simply just climb up, and if you climb up a certain way, there are usually these barriers where you can, like, it obviously blocks you, and then obviously Halo also has this thing where if you go out of bounds too far, it'll start counting down before it'll kill you. But with the right amount of movement, you can sort of slide over between two barriers and end up like skipping this entire section straight away. So within about 20 seconds of gameplay, you're already out of bounds and going all the way around these huge invisible barriers.
So now we're on the roof. We're going to hit the level triggers in the wrong order, like in reverse order, so that we can acquire a couple things that we need. First thing is a plasma pistol. Now that guy had a needler, and oh, thank goodness, okay. So we have our plasma pistol. Next thing we need to do is hit a load and get a safety checkpoint. And we're going to use this plasma pistol to shoot down the allied vehicle and commandeer it ourselves.
I see movement outside your structure.
Yeah, we can't.
So when you use the plasma pistol, yeah, it's usually like a very kind of weak weapon that people might overlook, but it has a thing where if you hold the button to shoot it and then let go, it overcharges. And if you shoot a vehicle with that, it actually just completely disables the vehicle. So with the right amount of timing, you can shoot the Allied Falcon, which is one of the big planes that are used by your allies, and you can shoot it down and grab it very early. You are never intended to do this. Most people don't even know the Falcon exists. Never mind that you can actually grab it and fly it around right at the start of the game. And this will be used for a very big skip, which will skip this entire section coming up.
Got the checkpoint. So now, barriers in Halo are elastic barriers, which means you can push into them and get pushed back. So I didn't get a seat the first time, get a seat on the bus, but this time I'm going to wedge myself inside this Covenant ship. And then it's going to push me into the barrier hard enough that the barrier actually pushes me out the other side, because it's not affected by the barrier, and here we go, we're through. We're now out of bounds, we can fly to the edge of the map. Well, there is no edge, we can just keep flying forever actually. And, but we're going to fly right to the end of the mission and load in the outpost and kill everything. Usually you're supposed to do about 2 or 3 side objectives and then hop in a Falcon auto-scroller and ride your way here, but now we're just going to get here straight away.
It's
now
very
that
convenient
everything's
that
dead.
they put, like, yeah, they put the final trigger like right next to where you were. So instead of driving all the way around where you do a couple of fights and then you grab a Warhog, drive to an objective and then fly back, as Too Easy said, you can literally just shoot a couple of things, fly there yourself in like 30 seconds.
So now we're going to deload the outpost again so that we don't have to do the wave fight that's there, and some other reasons as well. I'm going to do a new time save that's been discovered in the last couple weeks actually. I'm going to fly over this zone which you normally go to casually. And it's going to teleport my ally there, who opens this door for me usually, in the outpost. Now I'm going to fly back to the outpost and load it in. And the wave fight is going haywire at this point, It's trying to spawn in enemies and they're trying to do things. But the place doesn't exist. I've also duplicated my ally, which is a rare thing that can happen. It's good luck for the marathon. Got 2 Emils going on here.
This is very exciting. New tech at a marathon.
Yeah. And this is the door that's supposed to be here. As you can see, it's disappeared, so we will be able to save some time as well. Now I'm going to do a little deload here, where I delay a checkpoint to the right time by punching 5 times, which delays checkpoints. And it should delete the door just at the right time. And here we have the first combat. The important thing here is getting lucky. Need to get the right gun from this guy. I did not get the right gun. So I want to let this zealot go. I don't have the firepower to take him on. I'm not sure what he's doing though. I think he might have stuck around. Oh no, it looks like he's gone.
Yeah, when you kill grunts in this game, there is a random chance whether they drop a needler, which is it does have its uses, but it's much less useful in general in this run than a plasma pistol is. Because plasma pistols can also be used to take away shields of elites and stronger enemies very quickly. You'll see it used a lot later on.
Alright, I'll hope for a checkpoint here. Didn't get it, so I'm going to play a little bit safe. Need to kill this dude. Woo! Got him.
Very nice.
Oops.
Almost got stuck. That would have been bad.
Oh god. How did that kill me, man? This guy outplayed me so hard. I don't know which direction to dodge. Alright, that's a big revert.
Yeah,
that's
so there are 2 elites here. There's the Zealot with the concussion rifle, who is quite a big threat to start off. You can kill him right here in the first bit of the fight if you have the firepower to do so, but it's quite difficult on Legendary. But you don't have to fight him right now. If you just leave him, eventually he runs away and you can fight him right at the end like you saw before. There is also another one with a sword. Now, elites with swords will insta-kill you on Legendary like most of the time, so you got to be very careful. But also they just run at you in a straight line. Yeah, very nice. Checkpoints are kind of tricky sometimes, in the sense of getting them. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It feels a little random. But the simple idea is that you need to be not in combat, hence why you can delay them by punching. And you need to be in what is considered a safe area. But where the game considers you safe can sometimes be quite questionable, to say the least.
So I'm going to go for this once. It's like the IL strat, just for memes. But he's probably going to punch me in the face and kill me. Oh, we got him! Alright, we have a chance to save a lot of time.
Nice.
But it's also matters whether I get shot.
Yeah, this courtyard here is a huge fight that you have to take out a couple of enemies to trigger the next sequence, but you don't have to kill everything. So the IL strat is that you basically just run and tank the first elite, and then come back and grab the target detonator or designator. Which one? Doesn't matter.
Designator.
Whatever. It's target.
I think
that's the one. Yeah.
It targets things and calls down an airstrike. So that's
exactly.
awesome to get that in a marathon, by the way.
Yeah, basically like a 5-kill streak on Call of Duty. You just come down and nuke everyone in the courtyard.
We get it? Is everything dead? Ah, something's hiding somewhere. It was really unlucky, actually. Ah, that would have been so cool.
Yeah, it would have been very nice.
Come on.
I mean, you did the hard part. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Alright. So we're still saving quite a bit of time here. Over doing the normal strat. We just kill everything manually without having access to the airstrike. But yeah, that was, I've gone for that in all of my marathon runs so far. Every single time he just punches me right in the face and kills me. But we managed to outplay him that time.
It's going to be tricky to face head on Legendary, because they say sometimes they just melee you and it's dead immediately.
Halo Reach elites are not to be trifled with in melee range, unlike in the other games where you can kind of easily bait their animations. Bungie did not want you to be able to do that in this game. They gave them black belts in karate. Okay, this is really unlucky.
The rest of this level, once you're out. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, it's just he flipped out and he could have killed me. Sorry, go on.
The idea of the rest of this level is you need to hit a sequence of buttons on these in these big courtyards, and there are huge fights here that you're intended to do. But again, good use of the target designator to kind of you know, just nuke everything as we go in. And then also using the button hitboxes, which are way bigger than you think they are.
Yeah.
You can actually press all of the buttons from like unintended locations from like outside. So you can just sort of do a scoop around the map and grab all of the buttons without actually entering any of the kind of dangerous parts.
This is a weird thing that happens about 10% of the time, where he doesn't fall for my bait. Hopefully it won't happen again, but he kind of just, his AI breaks, and he thinks you don't exist, and then he just camps right where you don't want him to be. That's a grunt this time, so he's driving forward. Nice.
Nice work, Spartans.
Yeah, this is like a good example of like how difficult Legendary is, especially in Reach. Is like
Just
even
get
if
melted.
you're one of the best players in the world, and you do like deliberate strats to make things more safe and easy, you will still die very often because it's just that's how brutal the difficulty is. You know, you're dead in a few shots, and there are a lot of enemies to fire lots of shots at you.
This is a cool button, press under the floor, or you get it from underneath the floor. Just saves quite a lot of time. And we're back in our Ghost. Gonna head back to the beginning of the mission now and do a skip called Hunter Skip. It's the second major skip of the game, and we're basically going to abuse the game's code and make it check if the hunters are alive or not before the hunters have even been spawned in. Thinks the hunters are dead, and then it opens the door for us. But we will gonna delay a checkpoint here by punching, and I'm gonna take my wings off to make my Ghost more easily flippable, because I want a checkpoint right before I do the trick.
Turn to sword base. The rest
I'm gonna
of the
shoot, punch, melee to delay the checkpoint. And then we have it right here. Another thing that checkpoints do is make all the enemies unsplatterable, which also means they'll get in my way, so I'm also negating the game's ability to give me a checkpoint by putting this checkpoint here, as well as it being a good place for a checkpoint. Okay, this should be fine. I did go quite far forward. Hopefully I didn't hit the spawn trigger. We don't need to pause and check. I'm gonna have to play this safe. I might have soft locked there, so... Okay, this time I definitely didn't hit spawn trigger.
Yes, the idea here is that you get your Ghost over these barricades, which are
Nice.
not intended to be gotten over usually, and then you fly through the trigger, and then you're able to just zoom all the way through and get to the elevator. Usually you would have to fight those hunters. Hunters are like the big kind of like semi-bosses in this game. On Legendary especially, they take a absolute shit ton of ammunition and damage to kill. So skipping them at any opportunity is always going to be a huge time save.
Ah! Holy god, this game! Alright, we're good.
Oh my god.
Alright, now we've got a concussion rifle. Really good premier speed tech item in the speedrun. We're going to use it to launch ourselves and skip this whole room, hopefully. Nice, we've done it. And we're at the top now. We're going to grab a rocket launcher and make use of a cool strat called doubled rockets, which I'll let Ben explain.
Yeah, so you're intended to fight your way up here, and then the way you hit the end trigger of the level is by destroying like all the Banshees and the Phantoms and everything and killing all the elites here, just basically clearing out the zone with the rockets. Usually, once you lock on, you then have to sort of wait for a few seconds to relock onto your next target. But as you'll see Too Easy doing, what you can do is if you get a lock on to a target, shoot, and then immediately flick on to another enemy, you can actually keep that lock on for the second enemy as well. So you don't have to wait to relock on each time. You can sort of kill them twice as fast.
Nice, good Oni. I'm also really scared of dying to flying Banshee wreckage. Happens to me a lot.
And that was clean.
Yeah. Alright, time for
Now,
the
definitely the
movement
most.
mission.
You say Winter Contingency is the most broken level, but like in terms of like time save, this is up there, right?
Yes. It's just that we kind of forget, because this level has the oldest skip in Halo Reach speedrunning history, which a lot of people might know about. It's the one with the forklift. Don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it skips a lot of combat.
Yeah, they made the mistake of making most of the first half of this mission optional, so you can run through it just, you know, without any sort of glitches. And then, unfortunately, they left a big glitch in that skips the entire second half. So it means that the entire level is basically you just run through in a couple of minutes.
Apart from this part, which is the scariest part, I'm going to do a thing where I intentionally teleport my ally right in front of these enemies by looking at a certain direction. Since the game doesn't want to teleport him right in front of me. It's like they don't want us to see him teleporting. And I'm through first try, which is really good.
Right.
This area is also pretty scary. There's a lot of gooters and grunts. But I have a checkpoint, and if I just be nice and quiet, they should focus on each other. A nice little melee boost there for time save. Leave me alone, please. Yeah, huge. And you'll also notice I'm doing slide jumps, which are when I fall onto a slope and then jump at the right time, I transfer a lot of that downward momentum into forwards momentum. You saw me get a big one earlier, and there's another big one there.
And also grenade jumps, you saw them at the start of the level. Very similar to the concussion rifle. If you jump at the right time, after a grenade explodes below you, it would actually give you a boost upwards. So it's a huge staple in Halo speedrunning, is using grenades to sort of blast yourself higher into the sky, so you can gain access to, you know, either like out of bounds places or places earlier than intended and things like that. Just gonna make sure you have enough health.
Yeah, I'm getting some good slide jumps in this mission so far. It's good. But I'm quite low in health.
Entire section, yeah, a bit low on health. That entire section just there was a part where you sort of had the option to deal with an entire like side objective where you like save a bunch of people and have a huge firefight. But as you saw Too Easy do, like, it's not even a glitch, you can just run right past it, and it's like, oh, they're all dead now. Okay, like, it doesn't matter, you don't fail the mission, so you can just keep going.
Developer intended.
Yep.
So now we're gonna punch this dude in the back and be nice and sneaky, and hop on this forklift and save like 10 minutes now. I don't know how long it would take to do this entire wave fight, and then have to fight through the end section, where there are like a billion enemies in between you and the ending. But if I do the forklift skip and glitch through the middle of the gate, there's no enemies there.
Yeah, nobody knows how much time it saves because nobody does it the intended way, because that is so easy to do and it skips the entire level. So
I've done
there's a lot of time.
Done like a John Wick % run where you kill every enemy. Took me a long time.
Yeah,
I don't know how long it took.
Yeah, that glitch is tenfold because not only does it let you skip like all the way through to the end of the level, but usually when you get to this section, like when the door opens the intended way, there is a huge fight that you've got to get through, and it is like so difficult that it's like impossible to run through.
Yeah, there's like no ammo.
The fact that you
either.
can run through this whole thing is ridiculous.
Time for my favorite mission. I hope I do it justice. So this is really fast and action-packed. First, what I have to do is get myself a vehicle by killing the anti-air. So all I need to go for is these 2 anti-air turrets, which I've taken out. Now I need to hide and wait for my vehicle to come drop, and then I'm away to the first objective of the mission. Which I believe this is how the mission goes in the canon as well. It's just, don't worry about what you don't have to worry about. Get straight to the objective, because big things are happening. I need to take out the anti-air guns that are helping the Covenant win the battle below. It's like a cool battle going on below as well, in the skybox. So this is the most dangerous part of the mission. I'll let Ben explain what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, so here you have a wall hog, which is like just a standard sort of driving vehicle, and you need to drive along and take out these huge anti-air turrets. So there's a bunch of problems with this. The first problem is that the guy on the back has a rocket launcher, and he can just sometimes nuke you, depending on where you drive. Too Easy will take like a deliberate driving route to do it. And then you've got to jump in and actually destroy the anti-air from the inside. You can do it from the outside, but it's a lot trickier. And obviously doing that, just kind of throwing yourself in at the deep end on Legendary is, you know, very awful. And then he needs to grab a ghost and deal with another ghost, which, as you saw on his sword base, can be very tricky. And then he's going to do another strat here where a bridge is usually dropped after, I don't know, around 30 seconds or so from where he is. But instead of waiting for it to be dropped, he flings his ghost right across, and at the right angle he can get all the way across and skip waiting for the bridge. So it's like 4 or 5 tricky sections back to back, and if any of them go wrong, it can be bad.
And we saw a little bit of Bungie physics there. When you flip a ghost, it doesn't always flip well. Also, I just flipped my ghost, not well, but
Speaking of
cursed
flipping,
myself. Yeah, ghosts are weird. Okay, I can't drive. Somebody take my license away. I am riding along a wall, you know, sideways, but I'm doing this so that I can try and land on top of this stack of platforms here, and then get a checkpoint hopefully. Grenade jump off it onto the roof, and skip this entire facility as long as I don't get shot to death. Punched in the back by that elite. I'll just nade the floor, scare him away, and now I'm through the entire facility with only a little bit of time loss. That's my favorite part of the run.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool to skip all this. There's a mandatory objective here which you skip, and there's also an optional one where you can take out a zealot. Is it? I think another zealot that they talk about.
Yeah, that's
that one you can just go past if you want to, but yeah, that fight you would usually, especially on legendary, you would have to do regardless. So this is an example of taking out the AA guns from the outside. You don't have to go inside and nuke like the core, although it's usually quite a bit faster. What you can do is you can just sit outside and like rocket or machine gun them from the outside with a Warhog. The reason why this second one is a lot trickier to do from the inside is because if you get close, there is a bunch of drones that come out which are absolutely awful to deal with.
It's like an ambush.
There's so much damage, and they're like little insects, so they fly around really fast, and they're like impossible to kill.
Unfortunately, my Wraith that I was about to hijack drove off the edge, kind of rare. We also do a manip that helps it not drive off the edge, but it didn't work, so I'm going to have to do a backup strat here where I kill the hunters using the Revenant, which is quite scary, but I'm killing all the things that can mess with me while I do that safely from afar, and then I'm going to back off and get a checkpoint, and then basically go Rambo. Checkpoint? Oh, no checkpoint.
Yeah,
for me, I
Wraiths
guess.
are those huge blue vehicles that you see that's like one of them's on fire right in front of you right now, and the Revenant is a sort of smaller but still very devastating red vehicle that Too Easy's driving right now. Both of them are extremely deadly, and what you can do if you're ballsy enough, which Too Easy is you can actually ram and splatter the hunters. They don't die instantly like a lot of enemies do if you splatter them with a vehicle, but they still take a lot of damage from the splatters, so a couple of them will be dead.
Honestly, the cannon is negligible, does F all. The splattering is most of the damage. But it's just scary because they will one-hit me if they connect. They can also decide to melee me and like flip me off the edge. But here we are on the Falcon auto-scroller. We actually skipped this in co-op, which is pretty damn cool. But not viable for solo legendary. Viable for solo easy though. So if you want to see this skipped, check out the solo world record of Tip of the Spear. Unlike Speed Souls, Halo has like a strong tradition of like splitting up the run into segments and speedrunning those, just because it's like an FPS game. So like a lot of people don't actually run the full game a lot of the time. They spend most of their time on small individual levels, and it's a cool distinction of like you get to see the very fastest strats in action. Where I'm doing kind of fast strats, kind of safe strats, a good mix.
Yeah, some of the IL strats in Halo Reach are completely bonkers.
Oh yeah, we got strats that took people 6 months to just hit one run off, like, to get the world record.
Stay sharp, Six. We're not out of the canyon yet.
All right.
Thankfully, this auto-scroller bit isn't too long. All you're doing is flying into this sort of like big force field, and it takes down the Falcon. You do a little cheeky crash landing.
Very smart, you know.
And then yeah, it's flinging yourself into danger like a Spartan would do. Yeah. And then the only objective left for this level, nice and easy, is just to run all the way through this section, you know, in typical Halo Reach Legendary fashion. Just sprint your way through, and take out a bunch of guys at the top of a tower, and then hit a button.
So they've spotted me. It's going to be a little bit scary. You generally want to try get through here without being spotted, but I can hear him shooting at my teammate, the sniper, so I'm going to assume he's not going to be shooting at me. Oh, nope. Alright, with some little juking movement there, we dodge him. Just a little bit of sideways movement right before I know he's going to shoot, and then he shoots to the side of me. Very conveniently placed vehicle for me to get straight into the tower. And now we're going to go matrix mode and try and kill all the enemies in this tower before they get a chance to fight back. There's like 5 grunts and a ultra elite, and 2 of the grunts have like big heavy weapons, so what I'm going to do is go straight for the elite, get the back smack, nade the grunts, turn around and grab this guy's rocket launcher, and then blow them all up, and then we're good.
Yeah, that is a very quick sequence. If any of that goes in the wrong order, you are dead, because like the amount of weaponry that those guys have is crazy.
And now we're on to the big space mission. This is the weirdest mission in Halo Reach. It's very unique. A lot of Halo speedrunners don't like it because it's just so different to anything else in the whole series, but I think it's pretty cool and unique, and it makes Halo Reach a little bit different than the other games, you know? So first thing we need to do is get to the spacecraft. So we're going to grab a plasma pistol. And we're going to do a skip similar to the Hunter skip on the second mission, only sword-based. Well, I'm going to kill an elite here and make the game think that the beach is empty. And it'll open the door for me, as long as I kill it before this dropship can drop its troops. So I'm going to try and kill this guy through his drop pod. Got him. And now the game says, is there anyone on the beach? Nope, doesn't look like anyone on the beach to me. And it opens the door for us. Despite the fact that the dropship just opens the troops just after it checks.
Yeah, and that is much harder than it looks. He's made that look really easy, but that is not easy at all.
Yeah, so you have to get your EMP shot through the drop pod before it opens, because once the drop pod opens, it becomes a solid object and will block your shots. So you gotta line it up, time it through. It's a random drop, by the way, so you don't know when it's gonna drop. You have to react to the audio cue. Got the correct weapons, let's go. Yeah, you have to react to the audio cue, you get your first EMP through the pod, and then your first magnum shot through the pod as well, and then I waited for the pod to pop off, and then I shot him another time and took him out. Also, that gun, you'll know if you've played the game, but that magnum is so horribly inaccurate to play with. Also, I just want to demonstrate something. This is how fast I can look around on my saber. By default, if I change it, my FPS setting to the highest possible, all of a sudden, I can do this. So, this is a little bit pay to win, because it depends on how fast your computer is. But this is fast enough for me to go. And it'll save me a lot of time.
Too Easy also saved several minutes there just by playing on the correct version of the game. So on the original Xbox 360 release of Reach, that entire cutscene segment where you get put into the ship and everything is actually unskippable, and it's quite long. It's way longer than you probably remember, especially when you're doing speedrun. But he's playing on the Master Chief Collection, which is like the sort of re-release of all of the older games onto newer consoles and PC, and they made it skippable. Thank God.
Thank goodness. Thank you 343.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna line up, try and spawn kill all these Banshees. I was a little bit too close to them. Hopefully this works out. A little bit sloppy. But we've done it. And wave 3 is coming up, and this is essentially the hardest part of the run to survive on Legendary. The second wave's pretty safe. Can die if they decide to dodge your missiles, but if they behave themselves, you can be okay.
Yeah, there are 2 types of enemies that Too Easy is going to fight here. The first ones that you saw are the Banshees. They're very simple to kill. You can just shoot them with your like regular machine gun, and if you lead a couple of shots, you'll destroy them. And then there's the Seraphs, which have a shield. So you're intended to shoot down, like sort of pepper down the shields with your machine gun. And then you have like an alternate firing mode, which is the rocket launchers, which will destroy them as long as their shield is down. But as you can see, you can get lit up very easily. Yeah.
Yeah, so especially on MCC, these guys are a lot more aggressive. All enemies are slightly more aggressive on MCC, but most people only really notice it with the space enemies. Because for some reason they just really didn't. It's just way harder. We're gonna actually harness that aggression though, and use it to our advantage by trying to make them crash. I'm gonna go for the fast strat here once, right at the beginning, just because it's fun. I'm gonna try and make them all crash to their deaths. So I want everything to shoot me now. I'm actually driving slow and spinning around. I want everything shooting me, but not shooting me too much because I don't want to die. And I'm gonna hide behind Savannah and hope everything crashes to its death, and I get an instant quota. But then if not, I can just clean up the rest of them. Go find the ones that didn't crash down here. Try and stay relatively safe because I really don't want to die. And you will get instantly melted here.
Big part of the pay to win as well, as you see Too Easy doing, is when you want to dodge. One of the best things you can do to stay alive if you're ever struggling with this mission on Legendary on MCC is just boost your FPS as high as it will go and just flick your mouse like a crazy person. Because you can just become Neo just by constantly flicking your mouse around and dodging about.
So now I've spawned in the final wave. All I need to do is kill these phantoms. But I also want to do it before the reinforcements arrive, which are going to come soon, and then they will start lighting me up. Alright, we've done it. Actually, these waves have massive random sleep timers on them, so that one came in very late, which is safe but also slow, because now they're going to take longer to fly away. But yeah, I just need to kill whoever's coming last in the race, and then we are good. This is a good start to the hardest level of the run, so pretty happy with this.
Yeah, this marks the end of the sort of ship combat section. The rest of the level
one
is
little bit.
done. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, there's
But
the one
it's
bit
not
where
as
you're gonna take
dangerous.
out the engines.
Yeah.
I'm out here.
So this part, I'm just mostly going to be hiding the entire time. First, I want to take out the engines. Do a little skip here, where if we kill the engines before they tell us to kill the engines, then they will never tell us to kill the engines, and we skip a whole dialogue sequence and spawn in the last wave of enemies quicker, which is really good for us.
Yeah, Too Easy also goes underneath the ship because there are a bunch of enemies sort of stored away there for a rainy day, waiting to come out and ambush you. But if you know where they are, you can just go underneath and just blow them all up. There's like 12 or 13 enemies there or something ridiculous, and you can just go and spawn camp them.
Yeah, it's really good because they're banshees, and your allies will basically never hit the banshees. They'll just waste their bullets on them, so important to get them killed early. I really want a checkpoint here, actually. I'm playing way too dangerous. Let's get a checkpoint. So now I'm going to just hide behind Savannah. I'm going to try and coax them over towards me and hope that they either crash into Savannah and die, or just get shot. And here they come. So it's classic, like, shoot me, but don't shoot me too much. But don't shoot me not enough either. And you get to complain to the game if you get shot too much, and if you get shot not enough. There's only two enemies
shooting
left.
too much or not enough as well.
Yeah. Nice, we're good. It's a good clear time. Now I just need to park safely, and we will be finished with the saber section. Thank goodness everything went well. It's a really hard part of the run.
But it's not over yet. The rest of this mission is not a cakewalk either. There's a lot of very difficult rooms and a lot of tricky fights.
This is, yeah, by far the longest mission in the run. Now we're going to use that sword we brought earlier to try and kill these dudes before they absolutely melt me. Try to kill this dude before he jumps up, or we can go up with him. Snipe this guy. Wasted some ammo on him that I don't want to waste. My boys finished him off, that's pretty cool. I want to kill this dude as he's coming down. Yeah, there we go. Oh, a little bit early. I blame the stutter. Okay. I'm going to change my FPS down so my game stops stuttering now that I don't need the extra. Now I'm not flying the saber anymore. And I'm going to do a little thing here that I what's the word?
All right, Noble.
Encouraged runners start doing, which is arming up your Marines with better weapons, because they actually have a 100% damage penalty with their own gun. So as soon as you take away their own gun from them and give them a Covenant weapon, alien gun, they start tearing shit up. It's really awesome. This guy's hiding.
Yeah, it's sort of twofold as well, because in general the sort of like rule in Halo is that the Covenant weapons are extremely good at taking down shields of enemies, whereas the UNSC weapons, which are like the good guys, the Marines, they're really good at taking down health. So it also works in your favor as well, because the Marines, now they don't have that damage penalty, can also just wipe shields of enemies for you.
Yeah, it's very good having, it makes a huge difference
cracked.
if they have actual useful weapons, and they hide up there and protect your flank as well. I'm gonna try and kill the enemies with a sniper.
The first enemy that Too Easy took out was what they call an engineer. And they sort of just float, and they're not super dangerous to you, but they actually buff all of the enemies in the room. So taking them out, they're a very unique enemy, and usually they are the first people you want to take out, because otherwise you're just wasting ammo.
Yeah, they give overshields to everyone close to them. Big problem. Yeah, in other Halo speedruns, they just kill the Marines. We actually use ours to help. I'm going to drop that there for later. Yeah, they actually are half decent. I need this guy's plasma pistol to noob combo these elites. Alright, that was an interesting series of events.
Nice little armor lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the noob combo that Too Easy is talking to is another staple of Halo. It's been, you know, a thing since day one. And basically the idea is that you use a plasma pistol overcharge to immediately knock out the shield of an enemy, the same way you would take out a vehicle, as we talked about earlier. And then you can use any precision weapon, so a DMR, a needle rifle that Too Easy has, a pistol, anything like that, and just one bullet to the head will take out any elites, as long as their shield is down.
Now this is a pretty hard, quote-unquote, boss fight in this room. And the configuration of the enemies is very random. We got a Bob, which is incredibly unlucky. It's like a bonus unit that can be here. But luckily we only got one grunt here. So as long as this guy doesn't turn around and spot us, the general should be okay to do stealthy strats. Looks like he's going over there. Gotta wait for this guy to walk. Come on. Try get a checkpoint, and then I can do a cool little... Oh no, they spotted me.
Yeah, this room is very difficult. It can go very wrong.
There's an invisible guy with a sword somewhere. There he is. Did I really lose health to his backpack exploding? I actually lost 25% of my health because of that. Excellent.
Well done, Noble 6. Uppercut initiated.
And so one thing you saw there is a very annoying mechanic where if a grunt gets scared, like for example if their like elite counterpart gets taken out, they will just grab 2 grenades, set them off, and then just run towards you, like in order to, you know, sort of kamikaze you. And sometimes that can be a real pain in the ass, because they will just like block your way and just suicide into you. It's very annoying.
Now we have to clear this room full of enemies ASAP to start a big wave fight, where enemies will be coming at me from basically every door. And I'll have to do my best to kind of get to the door in time and spawn kill them. And I've started the timer now, so I need to get geared up for that. Try get a good plasma pistol. There we go. Made it to the first door in time. Every door's actually got a random timer on it as well, which can lose you time, but can also make it safer. It gives you more time to set up. Okay, ready now. Oops, he dodged.
Yeah, all it
Lost my
takes is
health.
one enemy to sort of completely take like you off sequence here. So.
Yeah. Backsmack 2 dudes here, scaring them. Line up a really cool EMP here, cross the map.
This is
I
a very
hit
cool
it.
trick.
Nice. Shout out to Seclusive. That's the Seclusive shot. Oh, okay.
God damn. It's chaos down there with George. Bless him.
Yeah. Alright. He made up for it by baiting the elite into him. So that's a good long night of solace for Marathon.
Way back up to the safe.
We got through without any deaths, I think, right? Oh, just the one death, I think. Got slapped in the face by an elite.
Yeah, not bad at all. Could go a lot worse.
If you thought that was a lot of combat and explosions, this mission has even more combat. This is the most combat heavy level in the whole run. So hopefully... And also this level lacks checkpoints majorly, so it's possible to get reverted entire minutes if the game just decides to not give you checkpoints. So I'm praying that it will deliver me the checkpoints that I deserve.
Copy dispatch 40 out.
I'm going to make use of a cool mechanic here where if I jump into the sky or stand on a rail or something, these grunts can't find a path to me, and as they're holding explosives, they decide that the best course of action is to just give up. So I'm going to be jumping on rails, jumping over holes in the ground, and trying to manip them into exploding.
Yeah, this is a very annoying section otherwise, because it's just every single grunt will just try and blow you up, as you can see.
There they go. Everything's dead. I can go collect all the ammo and grenades that I need for the next section. Oh, thank goodness. We got at least one grenade. I'm gonna hope I don't get shot.
This is one of the rare times that the Needler is very useful here, because we're introduced to Brutes, and Brutes get absolutely pummeled by the Needler. Like, you can shoot like half a clip into them and it just insta-kills them, even on Legendary.
Yeah, they've got such a high HP pool that it's kind of really hard to kill them with other means. Also, we're going to lose our checkpoint here because of getting punched, so it's a bit scary. We have to play this next section quite safe, even though it's inherently very unsafe. I'm going to try rush up to the staircase and try and spawn kill everything with grenades and needles. But if they armor lock, like they are, it can get extremely dicey. Try and use this very limited cover to survive. There's one more guy to deal with.
Can be shot through.
Alright. Guy's charging an EMP. Okay. Well, it's a disaster if I die here. I'm gonna play this so safe. One more dude.
Yeah, something I forgot to mention is that any enemy that has a plasma pistol can also shoot an overcharge at you, which will immediately just take off your shields. Or if you don't have any shields, it will kill you instantly on Legendary. So
additionally,
that can be very annoying.
When they release an overcharge, it doesn't overheat their gun, and they can decide to just shoot you straight after releasing the overcharge, meaning that all their bullets and the overcharge will hit you at the same time. So any weapon, any enemy holding a little green gun can just decide to insta-kill you from 100 to 0 if they want to. Bam, dead. And there's nothing we can do about it. It just happens sometimes.
You can't do that because they're cheating.
They literally are cheating. Now I'm going to kill these two waves of enemies. This one drops first, so I'm going from up here first. Oh, that was painful. I'm going to get this one hiding enemy by curving them up, and I'm going to try and catch these dudes before they run up where I can't shoot them. Nice. Now I need to clean up these three. And I did a cheeky little thing earlier where I pressed a button to hide until, bam, I teleport into the elevator. Because I pressed this button through a wall earlier. And I'm all
Very
stocked
sneaky. I
up.
bet you didn't even notice.
I've got grenades, I've got a hammer. Those are the important things that I needed to grab. Wish I had time to grab health, but that one brute was preventing me. It's running interference.
Oh. Guns are more important. You don't need health.
Yeah. I grab the rockets off this ODST. And these ODSTs show off their jetpacking skills. 99% of the time, they just jump off the edge and die.
Or they block you, whichever one comes first.
Hopefully I don't do the same, because I've definitely been known to do that on my speedruns. Usually when I'm on extremely good pace.
Yeah, so this is the first time you kind of switch away from one of the like armor abilities. You've seen the enemies use like armor lock quite a lot, that's another one. But Halo Reach was like the first one to actually implement sprinting as an armor ability. And you can switch it out to like the jetpack or the armor lock, or there's like a bubble shield, a hologram that like will, you know, bait for you and things like that. Obviously in the speedrun, sprinting is like 100% the best move most of the time. So we're like almost at the end of the game, we've only got a couple of missions left, and this is the first time that you see any other armor abilities.
Yeah,
but this jetpack is very useful
sprint.
because it allows you to, yeah, instead of sprinting through, you can just jetpack around the map and just sort of parkour your way past all these guys.
We do a cool little thing here where if we stick a Phantom anywhere with a grenade, it blows off the side turrets, allowing us to, instead of having to wait for it to fly away, we can go straight up to this platform. We don't get sniped out of midair, hopefully. Nice. And we can begin this fight way earlier. Use rockets to blow up all the fodder. I'm gonna try to get a checkpoint. And there are a lot of enemies in this room. This is our ONS, basically. This is the hardest boss fight of the game.
LeBron would be proud with that stick. Unreal throw.
Guy fucking surprised me. Okay, now I gotta kill the big boss dude.
This guy is very scary.
We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Big gun. We got him.
Oh no, I wasn't reloaded. Kobe. Alright. Come on. Look at me. Alright, we've done it. That was a good fight, let's go.
Yeah, not bad.
Usually get just insta-killed a couple of times during that fight. And you live with
I
it.
keep saying not bad as though I could do any better. That was awesome. Good job.
Thank you.
I'm like, yeah, it could have been better. Meanwhile, I'm like taking like 30 minutes longer than you to do this.
It's because you actually watch Halo Reach speedruns, so you know what's actually good.
Yeah, true.
But that was pretty good. Alright, now this is the scary part. I have to sit on this auto-scroller while there are enemies all around me shooting me, and if they just decide to shoot me from behind and blow me up and make me lose entire minutes of my speedrun, they're gonna do that. So, everyone pray. There are some things I can do to mitigate it. Hopefully I can hit my shots.
Probably a good time to talk about lore, because we haven't touched on the lore at all so far.
Everyone dies.
Yeah, that's basically
the
the Halo
gist,
Reach
yeah.
lore.
So fun fact, 1% is the estimate of civilians that survived this this battle of the planet.
Yeah, Halo Reach's story is very sad.
Very bleak.
We met up with George in the last level. He's now gone because he sacrificed himself for the last mission. And then these last few missions coming up, just like the demise of Noble Team, which is your group that are sent on these sort of suicide missions, which is very sad.
Most of them die in cutscenes, which we'll unfortunately be skipping. But I just wanted to do that so that it wouldn't spoil the game for you guys. So.
Yeah, you're welcome. Go play this game. It's great.
So here's where we can die, and there's nothing we can do about it. Also, we don't know if the game decided to give me checkpoints or not. I can't remember a checkpoint in the last 2 or 3 minutes, so...
I haven't seen one in a while.
Yeah, I don't think I got one for the entire fight or after the fight. But we seem to have made it through the scariest part. I can die to these guys, so I want them dead. It's just can be hard to hit the shots, but I've hit them all luckily.
Oh my god.
Mayday! Mayday! 6 Echo 2.
It's weird travel time on this turret.
Son of a
Alright.
bitch. Okay, watch
Now,
this.
there's a myth of the Halo Reach Runner who's good enough to kill this grunt on the Wraith. We don't even speak his name, it's too taboo, but apparently there's a guard there who can do it 100% of the time. I've never done it in my life, so... Also, first checkpoint in a couple minutes, let's go.
Nice.
So because we couldn't kill that guy in the Wraith, I try every time, I've never have. We're gonna have to kill him later, or he will shred us.
Trophies all over my missile batteries, and I got 5,000 civilians across the bay waiting to pass the I need you to arm those
Yeah, the final part of this mission is very similar to previous levels, where it's as simple as hitting a couple of buttons, and then heading to a different point, and then hitting a button.
We need to push them back off our feet.
So there is a huge firefight here, and it is very scary, but if you're good enough, you can sort of speed your way through. And the Warhog certainly helps with that.
Yep, so we've got 3 buttons, we're gonna try and press them without getting shot to death, or melee or bombed from afar by the 2 tanks that are gonna be shooting at me throughout the whole thing.
That's the first missile battery, Lieutenant. Get it on.
Take out that gunner, whoops, I missed.
First battery is online.
There's a checkpoint, no checkpoint for me. Try get one here.
Families and wounded on board. I gotta get airborne. Easy, 7
Nope.
Echo 3. Spartan's gonna clear the skies.
Something pushed my hog,
That's it.
but we
Battery's
should
prime.
be okay, as long as I can get to my safe place.
Cubbies are almost through my door. Steady, Echo 3. That Corvette is still up
Yeah,
there.
when you end up jetpacking to those sections up top, even if you don't kill the enemies, it can be very beneficial to just shoot explosives for the sake of it, because it can make the enemies dive, which means that they won't be attacking you if they're too busy dodging the explosives.
Nice, sub
So
11.
sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
Alright, now we're on to RNG Hellfest, that is New Alexandria. This mission has 3 main objectives in a random order, as well as 2 side objectives in between them, and there's a possible of 12 side objectives that you can get. And also the start of the mission is random as well, because you may or may not get Banshees. I do have a Banshee, let's see if I have the right objective. No. So, ideally I wanted Hospital first.
What's your status, 19er?
I'm gonna have to hijack a Banshee later in the mission now. It's gonna be really scary and hard, so... And I also now have a chance to get Hospital last, which is even worse.
19er, did you copy? 6
Yeah, the layout of this mission is very luck based, because as Too Easy said, you start off with a main objective, but the main objective is random out of 3. You can get the nightclub, the hospital, and the whatever this building is called, Synovia, I think it's called,
yeah.
something like that. Yep. And it's completely random, there's nothing you can do about it. And then once you've completed the first main objective, you then get a random side objective to complete, and then once you've completed that, you get one of the remaining 2 random main objectives, then a random side objective, then the final main objective. So the difference between like a perfect New Alexandria versus the worst luck New Alexandria is a lot. Like, it's crazy the amount of time you can lose even if you play at your best.
Yeah, it also has infinite time loss, because some objectives are essentially so slow that we just have to restart straight away and not even bother trying. And you can roll that objective over and over and over and over, so...
Return to your Falcon and stand by for instructions.
Yeah, fortunately the objectives themselves aren't particularly difficult. Like, as you see there, the Synovia one is just as simple as flying in, hitting the button, and flying out before the drones ambush you too hard.
We might have some
The
trouble,
nightclub is quick.
because we
but
don't
it's
have any
very scary.
Marines.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get a skip here. Hopefully I get it. Please. Okay, it doesn't look like we got it, so...
Oh my
Good
God.
work, 6! Please don't die, please don't die! We got the skip, boys! Oh no! Alright, well... that's an extremely rare skip. But we died.
The game giveth and the game taketh away.
Yep. It's only the second time I've ever gotten that, by the way. So now I need to scout out to find the objective that spawned.
Command, this is
And it's one that we just have to revert. I can kind of get different objectives by pressing different buttons right as the load hits.
Yeah, there's two, as you mentioned before, there's a lot of different side objectives, and some of them can be extremely long. There are some where you just need to nuke a bunch of enemies. There are some where you need to save your marines, but you can just nuke the marines instead. There's some where you need to do a bit of both. There are some where you need to escort falcons all the way across the map. Yeah, this is a huge variety of things that are all different in terms of how annoying they are.
This
Some
is
are
kind
just
of
not worth your time at all.
a slow but safe objective. We just have to kill everything. The bad thing is it's very far away from where we want to go next, which is to the hospital. It's like on the complete other side of the map. So I'm gonna hope that I get a checkpoint right after clearing this.
Feedback clear. Well done, Spartan.
And now I can roll for hospital. It's just a 50-50 whether I get it, but I also have to hit a hijack on these Banshees.
Yeah, the hospital has a really cool strat, but it requires hijacking a Banshee in midair, which is very tricky to do and very dangerous
Yeah.
and legendary.
One
But
of
it
the
saves
hardest
a ton of
tricks in the
time,
run.
so it's worth going for multiple times.
Oh, am I gonna live?
Stand by, Six.
Okay, we got hospital.
One of our trooper squads
I'm gonna do a little
will
abuse
silence
here
the
called
hospital
slinky
exit.
flipping.
I'll mark
Because
the
when you
location.
flip,
Complete their
your
mission
Banshee kind
and
of looks like a
get out
Slinky.
of
Also, the guy who discovered it, his name's Slinky. It is
How
faster
come?
than boosting in a straight line, as you can kind of see. And it just got me out of a really tight spot where I probably would have died if I missed those Slinky flips. I was like on 0 health, right next to a bunch of Banshees. And as you can see, I'm losing quite a bit of time, having to fly all the way to the hospital. Because of the randomness of this mission, I never do ILs of it, so I haven't been practicing it much recently. But basically an RNG fest. You just put on some music and roll some dice. I'm gonna
There's
call
only so much
evac.
practice you can do flipping a coin.
Noble Six, I'm sending you an evac
So I've got
transport.
another Falcon coming to pick me up, and I'm going to use it to do a little skip here. Where I fly the Banshee inside the building by taking the wings off. Oh no, that's not good. Okay.
Classic EMP, just completely ruining your momentum there.
Luckily, I'm waiting for my dropship to come anyway, so we don't lose time there. But now I'm going to hop in my Banshee, and the game thinks that because I'm in a vehicle, I'm outside the building,
Noble 2
and it's
to
going to
Noble 6,
deload the building.
showing the hospital jammer offline. Nice work. As soon as you can, I need you back in your Falcon.
Which teleports me to the nearest safe place, which happens to be right next to my arriving dropship. Now I'm going to roll for the second objective. It's 1 of 9 because it can't be in the same group as the first objective that I got, which was Cat Shades. So I'm going to check for the marine objectives, which I can spot early by seeing the... Oh, there we go. We've got Oscar, this is a really good objective.
Understood.
What I want to do is let these snipers kill the marines, because I need to kill the snipers and the marines, but ideally I want the marines dead first. So I'm going to let the snipers do most of the work on the marines. Also, because if I kill those guys in front of my gunners will betray me and it's mission over. Now I'm going to make sure everyone's dead. I don't see anything on the radar. Kill this dude. Troopers down.
Troopers down.
Nice. Alright.
Nothing.
Oh my goodness. That is not a good sight. No, 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 no. Diagonal flying. Save me. No. Okay. It's fine. So this is just the randomness of NA on display. There were just 100 Banshees right where I needed to be. And I died. Now I have to roll for another objective.
Yeah, the hospital shot itself is like a series of fortunate events all working well together. The reason you can call an evac is because obviously if you lose your Falcon, you'll just be stranded. So at any point you can just press a button and it will come towards you. So it's very fortunate to use it there. Because usually after you hit that button inside of the hospital, you're attacked by a bunch of jetpack elites, which are, there's like a dozen of them, and it's a huge fight that you need to get back out of, and you need to fight your way all the way back out of the building again. So that teleport is huge, saves a lot of time.
Copy 4-0. Noble 6, you're not far from main Traeger. See what you can do.
And as Too Easy mentioned here, it's very important to be careful with when you're betraying your own teammates, because if you just start shooting Marines in front of other Marines, eventually they get annoyed at you. Yep. And yeah, they will like basically shoot you on sight. So the problem with that is that it takes quite a long time for them to forgive you, and the mission is basically impossible to complete as long as they're pissed off at you. So it can be a huge time loss if they get too annoyed.
This is so not good. Now we're getting bucked. Buck's the objective where you just need to reset straight away. It's like a long escort mission. 3 bucks in a row!
Nice.
You can press some different buttons here. Oh, what a wild NA. We got Jammer Skip. We got Oscar, but both of them died shortly after. 4 bucks in a row, this has everything!
This is what you want though, you gotta show it off to the audience, how awful this mission is.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I can do this mission fast, but I'm gonna die afterwards and then do it slow. Just to just so you get to see everything.
Just to showcase the
5
You're welcome.
bucks in a row.
So remember, this is a 1 in, is it 9 right now? 1 in 9 chance?
1 in 3 actually, because there's 3 possible
1 in
bucks.
3 because of the group. Yeah.
Although one of the bucks of those 3 is a useful buck that I can take. And did I get it? Not down there. Not down there. Did I miss a phantom? I did. Okay, it's fine. It's Alpha again, same one that we failed last time, so I'm gonna hope that the Marines die a little bit better this time.
Engaging multiple enemies.
7 Charlie, 4-0 to HQ, and we've got incoming.
Sorry, Charlie, not Alpha.
Requesting immediate assistance.
Please die. Nice. Get my health. That counts as 1 kill, so my guys won't betray me. And we're out of here. Now, what haven't we done? The Hunter objective, so I'm gonna fly. We got the slowest order as well, apart from Hospital. But we rolled for specifically to not get the slowest order, so I'm still gonna count it as the level screwing me over.
Yeah, the nightclub is hopefully pretty quick, but it's a nightclub full of hunters that you have to run past, hit a button and run back out again, so it can be very scary. Judging by how this level has gone so far, I'm not keeping my hopes up.
Just kill these enemies so they don't blow up my Falcon while I'm inside. Just kill the ones that can throw grenades, I'll leave the others. And yeah, hope I don't get blown up by some hunters here. A checkpoint, just in case. A little slide jump. Haven't seen one of those in a while. I've been in vehicles most of the last couple missions. This guy just turns his back to me, alright? That works for me. Now, this health pack, I'm not going to grab. I lost a Deathless Lasso run, grabbing that health pack. A Deathless Legendary run. Grabbing that health back. Just run past, and we're safe. Oh my goodness. Alright, now we're finally finished the mission. All we have to do is do the final objective. We need to kill 6 AA turrets around the middle of the map. They come on Phantom, so we can just actually blow up the Phantom before it drops off the turrets to save a little bit of time.
Yeah, this is the one part that isn't random, and it's right at the end, the final like minute of the mission.
Yeah, and then there's still like Banshees all over the map that can be coming from different places, and they can complicate things a lot. So this can still be dangerous, and I do see a lot of red on that mini-map. So especially in the direction, yeah, in the direction of the last kill that I need to do, which is a little bit worrying. Can try kill it from far away. Yeah, there they are. Oh, that's a lot of red. Okay, we've done it. So not the best NA, but it was very informative and educational. So it has that going for it. And I can just blame RNG. That's what helps me sleep at night.
A nice little checkpoint there right at the end, completely unnecessarily kicking you in the teeth.
Yeah, next game. Oh my god, sub 13! Alright, on to package. This is the mission with the most fireworks. It's just going to be explosions everywhere. I'm actually going to try and grind for a good ghost spawn. Okay, not the worst ghost spawn possible. Nice. We're going to try and hijack this and just drive through all these snipers, turrets, and rocket launcher enemies.
This is very scary, this part.
Alright, no Gandalf here today, so we will pass. And we're not going to use the tank, because tanks are slow. And I'm a speedrunner, so I'm just going to try and drive through everything and pray. Do a little bit of manipulation to make them drive forward. Throw this to kick this guy out of the turret. Try and tank all these bullets on my armor so that it doesn't damage my shields. And then I can hopefully get a checkpoint right here. Nice. Because I waited for the ghosts to drive forward. They weren't looking at me and I was able to get a checkpoint. Incredibly cheeky checkpoint that I found. I am the master of finding very cheeky checkpoints that cost you a little bit of time, but are very good for legendary speedruns, like for consistency. Now both those AA turrets are dead, and I'm just going to drive to the end. This is where things get incredibly dicey, because there's a bunch of rocket launcher turrets here. I'm going to drive right under them, and hopefully I can make them shoot themselves. Maybe I got the second one to blow itself up. I'm going to hide behind this rock and snipe them if they're still alive. Okay, this one didn't blow itself up either. Now I'm going to hijack this dude. He's AFK, this is kind of good. Alright, we've done it, first try. As long as we don't get killed by these enemies. Nice, alright, that's an incredibly hard part of the run. Usually you die there like 5 or 6 times and you're kind of happy. So
yeah, that was clean.
It's epic.
Yeah, you're intended to take the Scorpion tank and sort of slowly drive through and, you know, pick off and blow up bits one by one.
It's actually it's
very
hard
slow
to survive in a tank. That's how much stuff there is to blow you up.
Yeah, but if you're manly enough, you can just fling yourself through in a ghost, not care about the rest. So here, the barricades that were before made out of concrete are now made out of completely, you know, paper mache or something, and you can just blast them through with the Revenant, so there's no need to flip yourself over at this time.
Now, this room is completely full of enemies, but I'm gonna sneak my way up through the middle of the room with some cheeky jumps. I'm going to intentionally skip a spawn here until I'm right in front of... Oh no, what the hell? Okay, this is scary. I can nade these guys, hopefully live. Nice. Through. And here comes what we call the hardest trick in the run. Hopefully I can hit it first try.
Yeah, this jump is awful.
If you get shot even once, you're gonna not have enough speed and fail. And there is like 10 elites in this room. As you can see, I got shot more than once.
Yeah, when you get shot, it kills a lot of your
and a
forward
ball.
momentum. Very nice.
That's one of those bonus enemies. Luckily, I was ready for him, but
I didn't actually know there was one in this level. That's new to me.
yeah, he's problematic for sure. Like right between me and where I want to go.
Yeah, there's like a couple of bonus enemies on I think they're legendary only, right? I want to say.
No, they're on both. It's just that on easy
Or is
they
it on?
don't really matter.
Yeah. But yeah, essentially in a lot of the missions, there's like random kind of bonus Easter egg enemies that you can fight, and some of them, like the one on this mission, apparently can be very problematic on Legendary because it just spawns right in front of you.
So another jetpack moment here. We're going to try Commandeer Banshee straight away. Not going to wait for Noble Team to recommend it. And then we're going to immediately turn on all these turrets, because these turrets will not only shoot enemies for me, but they will make the waves in this wave fight spawn quicker. I guess Bungie wanted to give you time to set up the turrets, so if they're not set up, it waits and you lose time. But there'll be 3 waves here of 3 phantoms, and I need to essentially blow them up so that I don't have to bother killing the enemies that come out. We've got the worst spawn order, so it's excellent start. Let's go. We want them to spawn in the order which we want to kill them. But unfortunately, the one we want to kill first here has spawned last.
Yeah, this is basically just a big wave defense of Halsey's Lamb. But if you have the right amount of weaponry in a Banshee, you can basically turn it into a base offense instead. You can take the fight to them, and it's a lot quicker.
So you do deal double damage if you hit the engine. So I'm going to try and make sure all my bullets are hitting the engine, even the plasma cannon. It's actually... the plasma cannon does most of the DPS. But I'm basically cycling the Banshee Bomb on cooldown, and then switching immediately to the plasma cannon for maximum DPS.
Yeah, it looks like those little blue pellets aren't doing a lot of damage, and you would think the big green bombs would do most of it, but it's actually the opposite.
Alright, we got an incredibly unlucky angle on the enemy, and both of our turrets are down. So I'm down to 25% integrity on my Banshee. It's going to be scary, that's for sure. Have I lost 3 turrets? I've lost 3 turrets as well. This does not bode well. So this turret's crucial, that needs to be on. That quota. I think I've got time to turn this one on too. Okay, it is quota, but it's just, they took so long to spawn, because I only had 1 turret on. So we got an okay order this time. Not amazing, but not terrible either.
Getting close.
This Phantom is special, it drops jetpack elites, so I really want this one dead before anything comes out. So I'm focusing on this one first. My rocket missed and then came back, let's go. Alright, we got it. Now I'm going to kill the Phantom that spawned second, because this one's liable to fly away if it drops off all its enemies. I want to kill this one before it flies away. I also need to be safe from getting shot. Nice. So I've got to strike a balance between my flight path. I want all my bullets to be hitting the engine, but I also want to be not getting shot by the Phantom, not getting shot by enemies, not getting shot by the bloody Banshee, and not hitting kill barriers that are surprisingly high. I'm kind of hugging the wall there to dodge a kill barrier.
Yeah, if you just sort of fly low into those chasms, they assume that you've just, kind of fallen to your death, so it just kills you. Gotta be very careful.
Is that quota? That's quota. Actually got a handy music cue there that tells me the drums start kicking up. Oh, come on. This is the best spawn order, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make use of it. I have the option to kill the second Phantom. Yeah, I can do it totally. Usually, it's very hard to kill this one before it flies away, because it only drops 1 group of enemies and then flies away immediately. But I might pull it off. Let's see. Call it Hunter Phantom, because it drops hunters, and we're incredibly creative with how we name things in this game.
I don't know, I thought the Slinky one was pretty good.
True, true. Everything else is just called door skip, or hunter skip, or gap jump, or, Oh, my favorite one is post Guta slide. The other day, my friend was like, "Hey, what's the slide called that's right after the Guta?" And I was like, "Oh, it's called post Guta slide."
It makes sense. You know, you don't need any of those like silly names that make don't make any sense.
True, true. All right, we've killed all 3 phantoms, which is really good. As soon as yeah, there we go. We got the quota. We've only got 2 turrets up, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit for the final phantom to spawn. But once it spawns in, the only thing we need to do is blow this one up, and we will be finished with the mission in a decent time, it looks like, if we don't die here. Now this should be a free kill, but I tend to die here a lot, actually. I'm the only one that has trouble with it.
There's no such thing as a free kill in Halo Legendary.
Yeah, true. I've got a checkpoint at least. These hunters being here doesn't help. They're very intimidating.
Yeah, when Too Easy's talking about quota, what he essentially means is in order to progress a lot of the time, you don't have to kill every enemy. You just have to have like a certain amount of enemies remaining, and that's what the quota that he's filling. So once you've filled that quota, you can progress. So in this case, you don't have to kill the hunters because they are the X amount of enemies remaining. So you can continue on with the mission and in this case finish it, even though the hunters are still very much alive.
And that's a good package. So here we are onto the last mission of the run. Another one of my favorite missions. It's really cool. The objective of the mission is just the same as the speedruns. Just get to the end as soon as possible. That's all we have to do. You've got a beautiful view of the beginning of the mountain that you know you die under in the first cutscene of the game, and your destination. It's like, my destination is where I'm fated to die. Let's go. First thing we're going to do is hopefully not die. Hopefully steal this guy's gun. But no, I missed the slide. That's okay, we'll get it this time surely. So I need this concussion rifle.
Yeah, it sort of sets the precedent for the rest of the level because the amount of ammo that he has is random. And this concussion rifle basically is like the strat machine for this mission. So depending on how many bullets you have is how many of the core strategies you can do. So the more the better.
Yep, we got the most ammo I've ever gotten, so that's really good. We're going to be able to use this thing to do a bunch of cool skips in the mission. I've also got rockets for added safety, but I'm probably going to drop them. There's a lot of different ways to progress through this mission, and a lot of different weapon loadouts you can bring. But I'm probably going to go for the most safe one. But yeah, if you don't get given enough concussion rifle ammo from that dude, it will severely gimp your ability to do the skips. This part is just what the dialogue tells you to do. Just drive through, don't fight the scarabs. You're not destructible anyway. So we're actually carrying Cortana on our back. It's the blue light. It's a clone of Cortana. Apparently a lot of people missed that in the story. They didn't know that the package was Cortana.
Oh really?
Yeah, we had a trivia thing about it and it blew people's minds. Shout out to the Halo Reach iceberg.
Speedrunners need to work on their lore more.
Yeah. Right, now we're gonna hop off and basically skip our way through this whole massive battle by just going on these rooftops. Finally remembered to rocket the Phantom for the first time in my life. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, a lot of these are doable without a concussion rifle, but they're a lot harder. So the concussion rifle just makes it easy. You can just sort of boost your way through.
So I'm picking up a needle rifle here. I'll need one for later, but picking it up here just ensures that I have enough ammo to finish the level. Just in case things go very wrong.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing
Here's a section that is... Yeah, this section is absolutely brutal if you do it intended, because there is a trigger that Too Easy just skipped, and if you hit that trigger, you are going to go through this cave, and instead of just running through having a jolly old time, you're going to be fighting dozens upon dozens of drones everywhere you go. So as you can see, this cave looks really bare, and it's because you're intended to fight a bunch of drones in here. But if you just boost yourself over that rock right at the start, then you skip that entire trigger, and you can just run on through.
Yeah, this is another section
I can't
where
stress enough how awful this would be to do on Legendary.
so, there's just no way to do it fast.
Yeah, it sucks.
Now I'm going to skip most of the enemies in this section by getting into the place you're not supposed to be able to get, but it's here because this whole section is a multiplayer map.
Better be, soldier, because my countdown is no abort.
And now I'm going to go up and dodge all the enemies in the second area. Try to get a checkpoint right before I cross over. Nice.
Yeah, a lot of this map you can sort of parkour over because, as Too Easy said, it's sort of it's one of those like big team battle slash. I forget what other game mode you can play on this map that a lot of people played back in the day. There's big team battle and one other one.
It's a good example of
yeah.
a lot of the elites in this map are bugged and don't have backs. Like that guy I punched in the back who didn't die. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
And we're doing a cool skip here.
Another big trigger skip. Yeah.
So we're gonna skip spawning in the hunters.
You go for it. You go for it.
Ooh, that's okay. I'm gonna try and survive. Alright, nice. So yeah, we're gonna skip the hunters here. They haven't spawned. We just get through this section for free. And also, you might notice those elites didn't do much damage. I promise I'm not cheating. They get bugged. Well, they do the same amount of damage they'll do on easy.
Yeah, even with that, this can still be very scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, those hunters don't spawn, and since you don't spawn, the door never opens. But thankfully, you can just do like a well-timed sort of crouch jump, where you jump and then crouch in midair to sort of fit yourself through the window. Smash the window, and then walk inside and touch the back of the door, which then hits the trigger to continue the mission. If you weren't able to do that, you would be forced to fight the hunters, because otherwise you would just soft lock.
This guy. Right, where's my gun?
This guy is completely trolling you.
And he's holding an EMP as well. It's very scary.
Again, you've got to be careful with those sword elites, because even though they're conceptually very easy to deal with, all it takes is one mistake and it will insta-kill you.
Come on, there's one more grunt I need to kill. And then I'll be just using my gun to scare this dude away. Just manip him into not killing me. Alright, I'm all stocked up on needle ammo and grenades. This is very good. This is one of the most combat heavy sections of the game, but I'm going to skip most of it by doing a really cool strat.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the flashiest strats in the game.
First of all, I'm going to do a concussion rifle jump up to the mat cannon, then I'm going to do across the map grenade lineup to kill a bunch of enemies.
Copy, Noble. My Pelican's ready. Clear an LZ, and I'll meet you there.
Hopefully that kills them. You can see it off to the left of the screen now. And got all the brutes that just hopped out of that phantom. Now I'm going to take out the rest of the enemies. This is what I grabbed all the concussion rifle ammo for. Not concussion rifle ammo, needle rifle ammo. Nice, we got the quota. There are still some enemies alive, but I killed enough enemies to spawn the next wave. I do need to hope that they come out and don't hide, or I will be essentially soft-locked. Try to kill these guys in midair.
Getting up to the mat cannon here early saves a bunch of time. As you see, it just takes one shot and you can just completely take out phantoms without any issue. And you're not intended to get up here until the final sequence of the game.
There he is. Now the final wave's gonna come in. Take them both out with the Mac Cannon. Now it's time to go kill the two bosses. I'm just gonna jump down, hope I don't get shot in mid-air. Okay, got shot when I hit the ground, epic. It's fine.
That's legendary for you. One shot.
Smart enemy as well. Come on, you won't. Grab a gun. Oops. Little stutter. Nice, and that is enough to get keys flying towards us. Now I'm going to prepare for the final fight.
Go with the keys. The pad is clear.
On my way.
And luckily I've got enough concussion rifle ammo to get back up to the
Get the package to the pad.
Mac Cannon, which also skips some enemy spawns that would have to deal with 3 extra zealots if we ran up the stairs.
This is Keys on hot approach to platform Delta.
I do need to kill these grunts so that they don't shoot me while I'm jumping up to the cannon.
Get on that mass driver and clear me a path.
Dead
This
bodies
is the
blocking.
final objectives of the game.
Nice. I did 2 triggers to make the game think that I ran up these stairs.
Cruiser moving into position. I need it dead.
Put your hand up if you didn't know you could headshot engineers.
I did not know that. Happy to admit.
It's actually quite important because I've got just enough ammo to take care of this guy. He doesn't troll and hide. And I've got about 1:20 to do so, so I'm in no rush.
Yeah, usually intended to sort of deal with all of those guys and then start the final sequence, which is on a timer. But if you use the concussion rifle to again skip your way up, you can start the timer and then deal with the enemies in the meantime. So it's very efficient. But
Right.
time will be coming up somewhat soon.
Yeah, about 15-ish seconds.
Yeah. As soon as Too Easy shoots the big weak spot on this this big ship, and it fades out, that'll be time. There's a very specific lineup in order to get into the Mac Cannon and shoot it just in time before he gets nuked by all these Banshees.
And time.
GG.
Alright. Thanks for having me, Speed Souls, and thanks for organizing this whole thing, Ben, and thanks for being here with me on comms. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Coming up next, I'm really excited. 2 youngsters, Kid Trouble and Voltronion, running Halo 2. Legendary. Excited for that, so definitely stick around for more Halo. Also, I just want to say a massive shout out to the Speed Souls community, the whole thing. It was my introduction to speedrunning in general. It's when I first discovered what speedrunning was. The reason my name is Too Easy is I came into a Capitan Twinon stream and he misread my Twitch name and said, hey, Too Easy. And then only called me Too Easy and I was like, hey, I like it. I'm going to change my name to Too Easy. So that's why my name's Too Easy. That's the law. And
Yeah, it's Capitan.
yeah, shout out to my favorite speedrunning community on Twitch. You guys are the best. And thanks for having me, and thanks for everyone who's watching and supporting the great charity cause.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Too Easy, for that awesome run of Halo Reach, and also English Ben on commentary. Thank you so much. And with the end of this run, it's the end of my shift here on the mic. So once again, my name is Sam Without a Plan. It's been my pleasure to host for you today. We're going to take a quick intermission to get ready for the next run. And when we come back, we'll have our next host, Goofball, on the mic. So stay tuned, everyone.